Everyone thinks the secret ingredient to a great garden is soil, sunlight, or fertilizer. But the real secret ingredient isn't something you can buy. Today I'm trimming this grapevine, and it's actually a perfect example because most grape pruning is way simpler than most people think. And by the end of this video, I'll tell you what the real most important ingredient in gardening is. In this video, I want to cover real quick, we'll see how quick I can talk, how to trim a grapevine. It's not very difficult. I've done a couple of other videos on this, and I got to tell you, I've learned from the old Scott Head video. He did 3 of them 3 years in a row. He got better every year. This is my 3rd one, I believe, and hopefully I'm going to get better. We're going to talk about how to tame this. First things first, there are better ways to grow your grapes. I grow these grapes this way because it's what makes me enjoy the area. If you've seen some of my garden tours in the summer when it's hot in Florida, I go under here and it's like 10 degrees cooler. I've actually had a chair in here and just cooled off in the heat of the summer. It's wonderful. If you're raising your grapes on cordons and posts and cables and doing it nice and organized, that is great, and that's another way to do it, and there is nothing wrong with that. That style of growing is based on 2 cordons per vine, and it comes up a little way. There's 2 cordons that are tied off to cables that go in either direction. Sometimes people will go up another few feet and do 2 more cordons off a single vine, and it works amazing. There's a lot of production on it. I would like to have as much production as I can, but I like the memory of my childhood being able to walk into an arch trellis covered in grapevines and just feel hugged by God is my favorite way to describe it. And so the thing I'm doing here different is that I'm not breaking off into cordons. I did that my first year. I came up with a main stem like this right here, and I said, okay, I'm going to come up so far and I'm going to go off with another main cordon. We'll have 2 cordons kind of winding around this thing. That's really a little too much for this small arch trellis. Now I do have plans to double the size of this arch trellis one day. It's not this day, and so we're going to have to adjust a little bit. And it really doesn't matter because these things will make more cordons every day, all day long, throughout the whole summer. And so getting more cordons is not a problem. Basically what I'm going to do here for this design is I'm going to pick a single cordon, a single vine, and we're going to trim it down to that single vine. And there's just one really simple principle here that carries through no matter how you grow it. And we're going to take a look here at this vine, and I'm going to bring the camera in and show you what I'm about to do up here. So the only thing I want to show you today is how I trim every single branch along this. Now, you don't want as many branches as are growing on this. For instance, you can see there's a branch back here that was cut last year. Oh, actually, that might have been cut this year. No, that was cut last year. It actually didn't grow. This one here, it was cut right there. And there was 1, 2 nodes. Now, a node is where a branch grows off or a leaf grows off. So you can see here, this right here is a node that a branch came from. It's a node on this branch that created another branch. This right here is a node where, I don't know, a leaf or maybe some grapes grew from. There's another little node right there that looks like it could give us another branch. Just a little tiny snippet, a little place where it gets wider. You can see right up here, right at the top of the frame, there's another node right there. So this right here is a node from the main vine that I'm keeping. And the only thing I'm going to be doing is keeping 2 nodes on this particular branch. Now, we have a node here, which grew over there, and I can actually cut right there and be done with that side right there. There's a node right there. There's also a node right here. So I can actually come right in here and I can snip right there just a little bit past that node. It'll heal. It's fine. Grapes are very resilient, and I can cut here. Now this node, in fact, you can see this node will grow something else. This little place where the branch gets wider. There's actually another one right here that could grow another branch, another leaf. I actually have 3 nodes on this thing right here, and to tell you the truth, I'm not really feeling like I need that many because this thing grows very full. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut that node off. And I'm going to leave these newer nodes. This is the branches that grew last year. 2 nodes is all I need. This thing is going to grow crazy from those 2 nodes. Now, we're repeating this over and over and over. And you can see on this branch right here, there's a node there, there's a node there. I cut it right after the node. If I come down again, this branch here, there's a node here, there's a node here, and I cut it off after that. Now, from this branch, if we come down a little farther, we have another 2 branches here. Now, these branches are not even as far apart as my hand. They are really close together. I don't need this many branches located this close together. And so, frankly, I can come in here and I can just trim these off completely. Last year, I left some that were this close and it was full enough. I did not need that many branches. And so I'm going to come in here and trim that off. And that is the whole thing, just working my way up and down the branch until everything is trimmed that I want trimmed. Another perfect example, I see there's another branch starting to come right here. It is real close to this one. This one's going to grow here. This one's going to grow here. This area is going to have plenty of branches, so I can take that off. There's places where future branches will come off this stem. This thing is going to thrive. Now, the other principle here is how we hold our trimmers. Now, this is called a bypass trimmer. That's because the blade, which is this side here, this is the blade, bypasses the anvil. And this is what we call the anvil. So that when we have a piece of branch, you can see that the blade actually cuts like that, and this side rests against the anvil. Now, one thing to note, when you do that, you see how there's a little bit of a crushed side right there? The anvil side will get crushed. We don't want to crush good wood. So if I'm coming in here and I'm about to trim this branch off right here, there's a node right here. I can feel it right behind there. You can't see it on the camera except there's a little bit wider right there. There's a node right here. So I'm keeping this branch, but I'm cutting off everything past it up here. Well, if I have my anvil on this side of the blade, I'm going to crush the wood I want to keep. Now, this is not going to kill everything, so don't get too panicky about what we're talking about here. If you cut it wrong once, you haven't killed the whole thing. But it is a better practice to always make sure your anvil is away from the part you're keeping. And so with this, it's going to crush the wood of this waste piece and cleanly slice the wood on this side over here. And now you can see the flat side on the wood I'm getting rid of over here. See, it's damaged from the anvil. This side here is a nice, clean cut. And it's going to be a happy grapevine. That's it, folks. That is it. That is the only thing I pay attention to anymore. Now, so far, I've only shown you nodes on a single branch. Like there's a node right there. There's a node right there. I can trim that off. I can trim that off. Actually, there's an extra node right there as well. So I can go ahead and trim this off. There's still 1, 2, possibly a third node there. Same branch. However, I want to show you an alternative here. So it took me a while to find a branch exactly right that's low enough for the camera. But of course this one can go. So we've got a node here, a node here, and a node here. Those nodes don't have to be on the same branch. I can cut this one here and one here. So now we have 1, 2, actually 3 nodes left on this branch. I'm going to leave it. I like it. It's kind of down close to the base of the plant. It can get more energy. And that's as simple as I can put it. You know, whether you want to do 2 cordons, 1 cordon, 4 cordons, however many you want, there is no set rule. There may be some benefits to better production in certain ways. I'm not totally concerned about production. I'm happy with whatever I get. We got 10 pounds of grapes off this past year. And you know what? I'm great with that. That's going to be just fine with us. And I might get 10 pounds of grapes again. So you just decide for yourself and don't set so strict standards on yourself that really make this a stressful event, because it really isn't. I enjoy being out here. I love the opportunities to hear the birds singing, and you can hear all the birds singing. The air traffic, well, sometimes that's not as great because, yeah, the fighter jets have been flying today. But, you know, you decide.
Now, I want to show you one thing that I'm kind of experimenting this year, but based on performance last year, I think I can do it. You see this vine right there? It goes up and up and up, comes over. Now, last year, I let that vine come down to this point right here. This is actually that same vine, and I let it go all the way down until it rooted. And let me tell you something, this thing is solid down here. Now, I wanted to get a grapevine rooted on this side of the arbor. Look at that, look at those roots. So both of these stems are feeding this vine right here. Now walk with me for just a minute, because I'm now diverting that vine off this way over here, and I'm going to let it grow a new direction. So now we have a vine on the other side over there that grew on this side, rooted itself. Now I've made a second vine, and what I've done here, I've left this branch here that goes off in this direction, and you watch. Next year, when we do this video again, this vine is going to be huge. Now this vine, follow it around with me, follow it. You still with me? This one right here. Notice we get down here. Oh, there's a branch. 2 nodes. Excellent, excellent. Okay, are there any other branches? No. Well, there's one more branch, and that's the last branch. This thing has about 6 or 8 more feet on it. And so what I'm going to do here is feed this through the wooden entrance of this trellis, because it's nice and thin, and I can do that now. And we're going to feed it through here, and it's going to become a main vine for next year, and the year after that, the year after that. So you were here when this happened. Mark this day, March 10th, 2026.
I did a video a while back about there's only one rule about gardening, and spoiler alert, that one rule is that there are no rules. There's always exceptions to just about every situation that you can think of when it comes to gardening. And it's the cool thing, because you get to make your garden your own. And you know, if you watch any of my videos, you know I end every video with, your garden doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be yours. And that is the crux of it right there. You make your garden your own. You make it the way you want it to be, because you know what? No matter what you do, there's something else that you can do to make it fit what you appreciate. Make it fit what makes you feel comfortable. Make it fit what brings you joy. And that, in my opinion, is the very important thing about the home garden. Now, a perfect example of this is something I'm doing a little different this year. And you say, wait a minute, you already told us all the principles. Yeah, this is not one of the principles. I love finding ways to use whatever I can in the garden, like these vines. And it turns out that we have a friend that appears frequently on the channel, cousin Bowtie Mark, and his better half is a bit crafty. She likes creating crafts and doing things, creating beautiful things. And she's in a wreath mood right now. And you know what's really good for making wreaths? Well, it's going to be these vines right here, because they're flexible. You can twist them around each other. And so what I'm doing this time, and again, this has nothing to do with top production or farm quality, whatever. I don't know. You can put all kinds of titles on it, but this has nothing to do with that. It's just the joy I get in the garden. And so the joy I'm getting is knowing that these vines are going to be going to a worthy cause with a very talented person who's going to take these vines and turn them into art that they will decorate their front door with, that they'll do things with. I don't know what she's going to do with these, but she's actually coming by here in just a few minutes to pick up these vines right here and take them home and use them however she wants to. And that brings me even more joy to know that this waste that I would have just left right down there on the curb, this is going to go to a good use. I'd just like to encourage people to grow something. And you don't have to have a big garden like all this mess that I have. Mrs. Bowtie's in her mutiny phase where she's starting to take over the front yard, and we're going to have a whole new front yard out here that you will not recognize when she gets done, and she does a good job with this stuff. So it's going to be very interesting to see how it comes out. That's Mrs. Bowtie's idea of a garden. And I have my idea of a garden. She lets me have my mess in the back. That will soon change too, I have very little doubt. Every gardener is different. We're going to have another video coming up that's going to talk about the most important ingredient in gardening or seed starting or something. I haven't quite figured out the whole premise of it, but the most important ingredient of all this is you, the gardener, the person making the decisions, the person that wants to sit in a space, walk through a space, read a book in a space, whatever it is you want your garden to be for you. Make it your own. And so, for the last time in this video, your garden doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Have a blessed day, friend.